W.E.B. Du Bois, at the advent of what we know as Afrofuturism, and this concept has been popularized these days with a lot of movies coming in as well, wrote a story called Dark Princess, I'm sure you know, which was rife with Hindu symbolism, if I may call that, which explores divinity, which explores power, which explores tradition outside of a white colonial lens, if I may call it that way, because narratives were very centered around that for a very long time. What, according to you, are the ways that right now Hindu practices, or even for that matter, indigenous African practices, being used to resist colonial narratives that are being carried out even today?
Yes, you see, looking to the future, you could say, is something that the whole world is sort of engulfed with. You know, even to some futures that don't involve much of the current format of humanity. We are going towards virtual realities and, you know, transhumanisms. And so also, you know, the African imagination and thought, as expressed in such books, is also looking as to what is the expression, say, of Africans in the futures of the world. But we tend to look at these things with caution, as we're given by the Shastra. Sanatana Dharma being a focal point on the soul. And in fact, you know, without considering consciousness and the needs of consciousness, then one is considered to have become a failure in life. So the colonial effort was mainly an effort that was establishing an individualistic culture, which generally exploits the resources and people for profits of certain groups or individuals. And so to resist that is natural, because it's like divorcing us from that communal appreciation of the resources that are given by God to all, and saying that, you know, everyone has a right to the property of the Father. And I would say now, looking into African philosophy, there's what is known as Ubuntu, which is a philosophy that encapsulates that you are because of others. In Zulu, umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. You're a person because of other people. Whereas, you know, the colonial ideology has maybe roots in philosophers like Descartes, who says that I think, therefore I am. Yeah. So in that way, saying others who may not be thinking in these ways of subjugating others and taking over their resources may not be civilized enough, and therefore have to be subverted and used to push on a materialistic agenda. So in Africa, in looking closely at this concept of our common ties, that I become valuable if I am contributing to the well-being of others, is one way of resisting. And of course, people have to find economic solutions to resist, because when you don't have the type of capital needed to create structures that go against the current structures, it's very difficult. It ends up being just ideology and discussion. So I would say, looking at Ubuntu and not looking at the commercialized version that has become, you know, trending now. There's softwares named after it, companies named after it, but looking at it as a core spiritual value that we are meant to all take part in what God has given to all of us. And we are responsible to the well-being of others, not just individuals.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.